sorry. We're going to talk about her in just a little bit. Welcome, everyone, to Wednesday Night is Overbooked. Brad can't be with us tonight. He has a event, something to go to. I don't know, lame, whatever. But we have a wonderful show for you tonight. And starting to my stage right, we have the one, the only, the horrible bad takes. And if everything is going right now, he may have been the one who's called this a long time ago. Maybe get Ryan Gosling to star in the next Black Panther. Mr. LeftEyeEgo, how are you, sir?
I'm doing so great. And if I swear to God, if they do Ryan Gosling casting, all I'm going to say is yeet. Swear to God.
Black Panther 3, the Whack Panther.
All right.
So what?
All righty. And down below, we have Matt Van Dam, the whole other show. How are you, sir?
Doing good this week. Just, no horror stories start the show this week. There we go.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes.
I'm not living a real-life hardcore match this week.
Good. So we did have someone already in the chat. Our wrench already in there. Mr. Jacob Ironside. Yo, how are you, sir? And just to let you know, all our links are down below in the description, all our socials. Also, if you want to support the show, hit that like button, subscribe to the channels. Again, subscribe to all of us.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Also, if you want to support the show, there's also a link down there to the Joker Voice merch store with exclusive Wednesday Night is Overbooked merch, which this logo right here by our wrench and the thumbnail for my video today and Friday, also done by our wonderful Jacob Ironside. If you're a fan of classic films, definitely check out his channel as well. Okay, so, and we have a goal. Last week, we missed a dozen by one. Let's see if we can get to a dozen likes. That definitely helps the channel out. So before we get to the big news, Monday, we heard that WWE was doing a little more housekeeping, only this time not that talent was going to be released, as in they're basically fired. They announced that 3 talents, once their contracts are up, they will not be renewed. And it was Sarah Logan, a.k.a. Valhalla, Carlito of the Judgment Day, and the one that apparently has gotten the most heat is R-Truth. So I'm going to go quickly around the horn, get your initial thoughts. Ego, let's start with you.
I mean, with a stacked women's roster, Valhalla being the odd person out, I get it. Carlito, I really hadn't seen him wrestle in a long time, actually, for me. It had been a few years. R-Truth makes them, I don't want to say it makes the most sense. It's like, he's 53, man. Like, Eddie's full-time pay, part-time schedule. So what else are you going to do? I don't know if WWE does a lot of renegotiating or if they release and then you can come back to the table. But I mean, if you're getting paid full-time job money and you're only working part-time, the minute they find a reason to cut you or your contract's up, like it's going to be, you're going to wind up being released. So they don't really surprise me at all, given the history that they had and the fact that, again, with the women's stacked roster, Valhalla will be the odd person out. So it makes sense to me.
Okay. Matt, thoughts?
Well, like you said, with Valhalla going out, I mean, they are clearing spaces at the top of the female roster. You might see her come back in AAA or something like that, or or TNA, the unofficial new promotion. As far as the Carlito and R-Truth, we've been talking about this for probably the better part of the year. A lot of wrestlers hitting that 50 area, 50 years old, and don't really want to wrestle after the age of 50 much anymore. And in the modern era, especially for WWE or AEW or New Japan, you get these big contracts. You can retire when you're 50 now. You don't have to do like some older wrestlers who wrestled in the 60s and basically died right after.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, Jeff Jarrett.
Yep. So as far as Carlito has always been mid-card enhancement talent on his current run. He just recently won a title for a local Puerto Rican federation. He's probably going to go down and be the top guy down there and puts on the WWE beef on them. And as far as our truth goes, again, I heard he wanted to retire before last WrestleMania, not this year that he was talking about retiring. And it makes sense if he's gonna. We'll probably see him get a Legends contract. Maybe he'll go, play around in AAA or TNA for a while with a little contract. But it's the age thing with these. They don't want to be like if you go look to the AJ Styles talk about it, not in his kayfabe interview, but his real interviews. He is dead on about not having his body broken when he's old, and a lot of these guys are like that now. They just don't want to. I mean, I wrestled for one season in high school, season and a third before they stopped me for medical reasons. I have arthritis all over my body. Now imagine what these guys do when these leaps off of like what was I watching? An AEW match. I think I was watching on Collision or whatever, and it wasn't like an extreme AEW spot. It was just standard like lucha leap off the top rope, right? And there were 5 guys catching them. All 5 of those guys took that hit from a 15-foot standard lucha jump. Everyone does those nowadays. Now, if any of us tried to do that, even if we were in optimum health, we'd get wrecked. And these guys take these shots all the time, 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes multiple times a night. I don't blame them for wanting to retire and not kill their bodies after 50.
Okay, so with Sarah Logan, when's the last time you saw her on TV?
I can't consciously recall that.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, you would really have to search. Carlito was pretty much would run interference and is a backstage comic act in his career, and he is mostly I think he's late 40s. R-Truth is the one that you could have done something with, because the last time we saw him in ring was just a week and a half ago, Saturday night's main event in a match with Cena. Now you could have put this in like a storyline to where, John, I can bring you back. I'm so confident that I can bring you back that I'll put my career on the line. Now you could have gone that route.
Man.
WWE chose not to. So this feels like they're just being dropped. Now, R-Truth is the ageless, the wonder. Like I said, he is 53. He can go work the indies and he will make a nice little chunk of change.
Oh yeah.
And this is the same thing that I said when we talked about the spring cleaning. Hello, Mikey. How are you, sir? Glad you are here.
Not to interrupt, but honestly, if he comes back and does a Legends contract and writes a book,
book, podcast, the concert.
Oh my God.
I mean, by the way, R-Truth is a millionaire, by the way, guys.
Of course he is.
I know. I'm just saying, like, on top of that, like, the dude knew Tupac. Like, he goes back that far. I'm like, I'll read his book or watch his podcast whenever. He's like, I can't remember the banner.
Hang on, man. Because R-Truth came in during the Attitude Era as Kid Quick. And he was teaming with the Road Dogg before he joined, before all the DX stuff. He was then released. Yeah. He then went to TNA. He came back and he's had a 17-year run.
Yeah.
17 years. That's amazing.
I would have kept him under the banner and be like, hey, we need you to host a podcast.
He'll get a Legends contract.
Right. Okay. And this eventually will happen. And like I said, if R-Truth, if he goes to an indie show somewhere in your local area and you've been so upset, go to that show. Go buy his merch. And I said this when the big swath of talent got released, like right after Mania. So people got let go. People have been moved up. As we saw, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer in the most weirdest way, which I'll give Shawn Michaels credit. He's playing fast and loose down there, and it is unpredictable as hell because Tuesday shocked the world. Honey, I'm home. Mariah May makes her WWE TV debut. Now this entire firestorm started on Friday, where 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, 10:30 a.m. my time, on AEW's official website on the roster page, the Mariah May was removed from the roster. About 2 hours later, her AEW shop merch got pulled. This is usually the sign, and Matt, tell me if I'm wrong or not. This is usually the sign that a talent is done with the company and they are about to be or have been released from AEW.
So New Japan and WWE do something that talking about the top federations now. AEW is like the number, like there's a level down from there, right? So WWE and New Japan, even when wrestlers leave their federation, will still sell their merch, okay, to make money off of it, right? AEW tends to not, at least, like initially they'll take their merch out of stores and whatever. Then after a year or two, they'll start selling their back catalog of stuff.
Right.
It's really kind of a weird thing with merchandising rights once you leave a company for pro wrestling, because you don't want to promote your other company's people, but on the other hand, like if Brock Lesnar saw AEW, there is no way WWE would stop selling Brock Lesnar merch. He is still the number one merchandise seller for WWE. They just shifted to another corporation, so he doesn't look like he's a wrestler anymore.
Right.
Gotcha.
So let me continue this. So at that point, the question was not if, the question was when. When would she be showing up? Now, I proposed that the Mariah, because we don't know her name yet, but the way the fans were chanting, I believe it's safe to say that the Mariah will be part of her name. I propose that the Mariah debut at NXT, the great.
Well,
NXT.
her real name is Mariah May,
right?
Right. She could just transition into her real name.
Right. Her full legal name is the Mariah May Mead. Is her full legal name?
Like me, she's Triple M with her initials.
Yes. So I thought that the appropriate time to be, because Paul Levesque is petty, and so is Nick Khan, that she would make her TV debut at NXT Great American Bash, because it runs the same day as AEW All In. And if people think that, that is kind of petty. These are wrestling promoters. They're all petty.
Yep.
Hella petty. Yeah.
So, but based on last night, JC Jane, your title reign is not long for the world. I mean, I said transitional champion at best. I think you put honestly, you put the belt on her
immediately.
NXT Great American Bash. Now, a lot of folks were kind of wondering, would Tony, how much money would Tony try to throw at her to keep her in AEW? Well, as I said, this is from Ringside News. Mariah May didn't choose WWE for the money. WWE was always the goal. Much like Stephanie said
There's a
earlier.
difference, though. There's a difference. Stephanie had wanted to be a W wrestler since she was like 10 years old.
Correct. Right.
Mariah wants to be the queen of the wrestling world, and if AEW can get her there, she would do it, but it can't. So
fair.
And then, of course, they came out in four.
When Stephanie did that one match with Mercedes, we all knew that was one time because Stephanie's have been stated for years. Her goal was to be in the WWE. Like that's what she illegally immigrated from from her home country to Mexico when she was 14, just to become a luchador. You know, I mean, so she's been on that WWE path. Chile, yeah.
And then, of course, out come the sickos.
What were they saying?
They said Mariah May is a traitor and will regret her decision to join the enemy. I can't believe this shit. I'm about to cry in front of my kids.
Gross.
Seriously, folks. Go. I'm surprised you're about to cry in front of your kids. Go out, touch some grass, and stop lying because nobody would have sex with you.
That's too much. But you got to remember, there's a wrestling for whatever reason. AEW has captured the old, it is, but they've captured the old ECW fandom. Okay, and the ECW fans, like they were vicious. Like when a wrestler would leave ECW, they were like dead to the world, dead to the. You know what I mean? They would literally like go to a W event, like we'll say when Taz was there, and call him Traitor Taz, and take over. That's one of the reasons Vince started trying to masking crowd chants and stuff. You know.
Hello, Roman. How are you, sir?
Hey, dude.
So there is that Northeast wrestling fan base centered primarily in Philly and South Jersey that are nasty.
Yeah, it's a different base. It's a different fan base. They don't take betrayal at all.
Yeah. These are the same people that had that. I mean, we know Bill Burr is a subpar human being, but go look up the Bill Burr versus the Philly crowd.
It was relentless.
And
it was great.
Or the what was the other thing they did as a Philly crowd? They did something despicable. When someone's kid died, the crowd was chanting, "He deserved it," like in public on the streets. You know, I mean, it was. One of the athletes' kid died from one of the sports teams, and because of that, he didn't play in a game that they lost. And the crowd was chanting, "He deserved it!" Like,
okay, let's not talk about that because that's awful.
They're the most subhuman fans there are.
You guys are just those people are just horrible human beings.
Yeah,
I mean, I have seen tweets of like from Wembley to a warehouse. What a downgrade!
So you know how extreme it is. You know that big statue of Rocky they have in Philly, right? When Rocky lost in Rocky 5, when Rocky 5 sucked, the movie sucked. People want to try to tear down the statue.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was Rocky. Was it Rocky 5 or 6 that sucked? Well, the one with the Tommy the boxer.
I don't know.
5. Yeah. You know, you got it. You know, but Rocky 6 was great. You know.
Okay. So back on track now.
Well, okay, you know, we should do wrestling movies for one of our show teams when we get some dead time. Talk about some of the wrestling movies that have been out there.
Well, it's interesting you brought up dead time. So, and I guess Roman agrees with you there. So I'm just now. Before we go to this next topic, I'm going to stay on the Mariah for a bit because that 2-minute segment there.
I'm going to John Mariah for quite a bit.
Okay. So anyway, that 2-minute clip there, and Matt and I were kind of starting to talk about this in the back really quick. It showed us a lot. Now, for one, again, we did not get a name yet, so they're still working on that. We heard the commentators, and we heard her both use the same word. glamorous, which means they're going to keep this gimmick, which means they're going to keep this character perfect. Keep that character. It works. Now, for those in the chat who may not know who this person is, she started off in some UK indies like Rev Pro or whatever, which is loosely associated with Stardom in Tokyo, which is where she really started to make a name for herself. She was she paired with Mina Shirakawa to become the goddesses of Stardom. That's like the tag team champions there. She's worked with Kairi Sane.
Well, she was in didn't they cancel it but get rid of a WWE UK or something like that?
She tried out. She tried out at the Performance Center, and they said, "Not yet. Go out, make a name for yourself."
What was it? NXT UK? They got rid of that, right? After a while. So she was in that and trying out and stuff like that. I remember that.
So then she's in Stardom. She's worked with the likes of Kairi Sane. She's worked with Julia. She's worked with Mina Shirakawa, and she really started to develop a name for herself. She came over to AEW, signed a 2-year deal, which I have recently found out Tony Khan did not put a 3rd-year option on this contract. Well, you bungled that one there, Tony. And really, her entire run in AEW has been one program the entire time, where she was brought under the wing of timeless Toni Storm as kind of like in story her protege. Tony was the mentor, and this she really
So
no Roman.
If you think Mariah May looks anything like the Junkyard Dog Roman, you are in trouble.
Yeah,
your wife might disown you. It's like
maybe. So this one program here that we got going here, and we're at 5 likes so far, folks. We are almost half.
It was AEW's best storyline of the last few years.
Okay,
and not only did she.
Oh my god!
I was getting there.
You usually hand AEW off to me, so I'm just used to it.
Well, so she was in this. She's been in one story, which I have said on the show was not just the best women's story that AEW has done. It's been the best women's story all last year, all of last year, and it really hit a crescendo when the Mariah won the women's Owen Hart tournament, which turned into one of the best angles where she turns on Toni Storm. So the glamour, this loving character, just appreciative of timeless Toni Storm, turns into this wicked, sadistic character. And so we've seen her play face, we've seen her play heel. And
they did something really neat with it, though, that people didn't catch. Okay, Thomas Toni Storm was a kind of like done through like an honorable heel gimmick, right? But she was really over. And the way you get them to transition to face is they'll drop the title to a face, then they'll disappear, then they'll come back and be a good guy. It's kind of how you do it. Because Mariah betrayed her and went full dark side, that allowed that Toni to sort of do that little amnesia gimmick and become a face full on without having to sort of disappear and come up with a complicated storyline.
Right.
It was a really nifty little it could have been Toni Storm booking. It could have been Tony Khan booking because it was too good.
I doubt it. I doubt it was Tony
the problem was Toni Storm herself booking it, basically.
Possibly. So then she drops. So then Toni drops the title to the Mariah at All in front of her home country in London at Wembley Stadium. Wonderful moment. Toni takes some time off, and this is where Toni kind of dropped the ball with her, because the Mariah's championship run, they really didn't have anything planned for her because the goal was to always circle back to Toni Storm. So she had like a mini feud with like Thunder Rosa involving her dad or something. It was kind of weird, kind of gross. But
I should add, AEW with is not PG. It's more like they have more adult storylines with some of the sexual innuendo.
Yes.
And just so people get, There's a lot of thespianism, so to speak, with Mariah May and Toni Storm and Miri Shinakawa.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, so
you like that one? That was good, huh?
that was good.
So then Tony comes back, and then in another well done angle where Tony wins the casino gauntlet match to get a title shot. They're doing a face to face, and Mariah is just being this evil bitch, and now and Tony's like, "What makes you think that I've forgotten?" Huge moment. We go to AEW Melbourne. This is a Grand Slam. The Mariah drops the title. We then have the rematch at AEW Revolution for the Hollywood ending, which this was a bloody match. Absolutely bloody.
Yeah.
They went full kickboxer, the glass, and doing that whole thing. But the ending, I mean, maybe accidentally foreshadowing, because Toni Storm hits the Storm Zero on the table, covers her 1, 2, 3. The lights go down, and on the big screen it just says "the end." And then we don't see the Mariah on TV again.
Yeah.
So what I saw, and this is kind of what I'm thinking with NXT, and then I'll open it up to you guys here. You've brought in Julia, you brought in Stephanie, and you had talents like Roxanne, in-ring talents that are just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing in-ring talent. So this kind of tells the rest of the roster, you need to step your in-ring game up to hang. These. So you move them up to the main roster, and now you bring in the Mariah May, whose in-ring is on the same level as those three ladies that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But now you add the character. You add the acting to it. And in that 2 minutes, the way she plays the crowd, knows when to not speak, the emotion. Because if you watched NXT last night, a lot of the women, it was one gal's first televised match, and she was very excited. So her promos was like really, and she was really excited. And others feel very forced still. Bringing the Mariah in, now you need to step up this part of your game as well. They are going to strap a rocket to her. This woman is going to be an absolute megastar in the WWE. Matt, I'll start with you. Your thoughts.
So Mariah, leaving aside, we'll break her down, okay? And not, I don't mean in the dirty way. Keep in mind that they got to get. Only mama can be any other. Mariah is.
You just made the list.
Yeah. Mariah athletically is one of the top female talents, and easily. Okay. Like I wouldn't put her as good as Stephanie Wakura, but like she's up there, right? And she has a great gimmick that Toni Storm will willfully let her copy and take. They do have a good real life relationship, those two. And she can promo. Like your top tier promo is always going to be like MJF and CM Punk, Paul Heyman and all that. But she's on that second or third tier promo ability, right? So she can deliver promos, and then combine that with she has a gimmick that captivates on her beauty, athleticism, and obviously have to tone it down a little bit because WWE doesn't do the sexual storylines. there'll be no thespianism, for our here. But so, and then as far as NXT goes, we sort of Joker had a private conversation beforehand. Now we know why Stephanie Wakura has been sent up.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, I will say this: so she is the best female wrestler in the world today, but the biggest limit on her. And I'll say this:
English still.
Io Sky is still a better English promo than she is. That's saying something.
Fair. Your point.
Like Stephanie, if in Spanish, she's great. If you get like subtitles on her Spanish language promo, she's great at it, right? And she knows she has to learn English to be great, right? But bring her up to the top level, letting her maybe tag with, whoever they're going to put her with, whether she's a face or a heel, who can talk. They need more valets and managers at W level. That's a whole separate discussion, right? Now we know they'll let Mercedes Moné. No, please no. They'll let Mariah May basically rule NXT on the female side for the next 6 months to a year. Maybe get another young crop of females to come with her.
Maybe about 10 months. 10 months, maybe.
Well, 6 months to a year. I'm giving you a range on it.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll come up in the Royal Rumble. Her first appearance will be in the next Royal Rumble. Whatever.
Possibly.
And this allows them to continue purging some of the subpar talent out, as well as I hate to. I'm not stereotyping when I say this, but now that they have AAA, we'll see that excess amount of lucha talent at WWE shift back to where more. I mean, I love lucha style wrestling, but I know it's a niche. You know what I mean? I get so put it back into AAA, and then we could watch AAA and get the full blown performance. Because what the difference with lucha style is, for people to understand it is purely performative. Like the wrestlers in WWE style match or Japan style matches will actually look like trying to hurt each other, right? Where in lucha style, some of that's there, but really you can see they're trying to put on an acrobatic spot-based performance, and they all work together like totally. Like their kayfabe is different, you know what I mean? So we'll see that glut of female talent and male talent go back to AAA and there. We'll have the WWE right now, and this is tough to say because a year ago AEW is the top level women in the world, AEW and Stardom, right? Now WWE clearly has the top level of women of the top. I mean, there's 3 or 4 in AEW who are maybe 5 or 6, but you have 10-ish, almost 10 women who are elite level now in WWE, if you add up all the areas that they have.
Gotcha. Ego, your thoughts on Miss Mariah May and the not long for this world title reign of one JC Jane?
Man, I will say this. There are a few people that it doesn't matter who you put in front of them. They're going to make it a great rivalry match, whatever. CM Punk, Kevin Owens, and I got Mariah May on there too. I say JC's dropping the title tomorrow in my mind.
Last night.
Tomorrow. So yeah, the minute that I looked up the YouTube comments, people said the minute they close in on her, JC knows that her time with the title is up. So her title's done for in my mind. Because it doesn't matter, because if you're saying that, hey, everyone in this company, male and female, needs to step the game up to what Mariah is, I'm going to give you an opportunity. She's going to hold the title. I'm going to give you a title shot if you've worked that well up enough for it. She is going to make this work. I need to make sure if you can do this and get up to her level. I think that's why I put the title on her immediately and have her run the show until the Royal Rumble.
No. As I said, in about, was it July 12th? That's just a few weeks away. Mm-hmm. NXT is running a show the same day as AEW All In.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
This is where you put the belt on the Mariah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. That's what I would do.
All righty. So as exciting as that is.
So it's just Mariah May. She's always exciting.
Well, there is that. But does anyone else feel that the overall product of professional wrestling, AEW and WWE of late, has been a bit
boring?
A little. I mean,
well, let me come into this, because part of a big problem here is, now we were told starting in 2025 that a certain wrestling show was going to 3 hours. We were told that in May, Paul Levesque on Pat McAfee's show said that this show would definitely be coming back down to 2 hours. Well, SmackDown, this is a USA call, for the foreseeable future, they said, is going to remain a 3-hour.
Yeah.
God, if you need to cure insomnia, just watch SmackDown. It is a long, arduous, it is a slog to get through sometimes.
Well,
Go
I'll
on.
agree. I think 2 hours would be better, right? But I understand USA. We had this discussion with why, excuse me, Warner is happy with AEW ratings too. It's relatively cheap content to put in those hourly slots. And
Well, okay, so for
what I was going to say, for what USA is paying for SmackDown compared to the ratings they get from all 3 hours, I mean, what are they going to? Yeah, it's all about the commercials. What are they going to put at that 10 o'clock hour?
right, it's and that's exactly what it is. So the USA networks are actually quite happy with that third hour because of the revenue they get. And I'm just gonna say, I mean, you can only run so many episodes of Law and Order SVU at this point.
Now, WWE has been corporate since like 1975.
Okay, so we can talk about this for a second here. I mean, we can talk briefly on this.
To the original comment though, Joker. So, I go through phases with wrestling where I'm like ultra into it for 6 to 8 months, and I'm like, for like 6 to 8 months. I'm in an AF phase right now.
Yes, we know.
I still enjoy the individual matches or individual promos, so I'll tend to watch them through social media.
Right.
But I just haven't been able since so the last few months to sit down and force myself to watch a whole pay-per-view in one shot anymore. You know,
Right.
like or a whole wrestling show. So but probably by the end of the year I'll be back into like, oh my god, I must watch all SmackDown twice. You know,
Right.
The enthusiasm level wanes and goes, you know.
So here's my take, and then I'll toss it to Ego here. You've got two companies now, and we've seen this before. We've seen this in the days of Vince, like when Vince would get a new media or rights deal, when it was with USA, or he got paid from Spike, when he got the big thing from Fox to have SmackDown on Fox. Now the WWE with TKO has done it again with Netflix. They get comfortable because they got paid. They've already been paid. So the product kind of suffers. AEW kind of the same way. They got their media rights streaming deal with Max, and their product has suffered. Now they've suffered in two different ways. With AEW, in my opinion, and others as well, it's too much pro wrestling and not enough story.
Okay.
They're almost allergic to telling stories, and it's just have a match to have a match. And you have matches that make no sense and are going to lead to nowhere. As opposed to WWE, where they will stretch out stories maybe a little too long, and in a 2.5 hour show, you may get 4 matches.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough pro wrestling. So one's not giving you enough, one's giving you too much. We kind of need to find this happy medium in here. Ego, thoughts?
I say this is the it's like depending on it's like what kind of TV show do you like? You like Seinfeld or How I Met Your Mother? Because that's exactly how this sounds. AEW is the wrestling show about nothing. You can pop in at any point, like, oh, Trick Williams is wrestling Adam Hangman Page. Okay, whatever. Okay, nothing's really happening. Okay, I'll just tune in. And with WWE, yeah, it's like almost every Raw or SmackDown is dependent upon the last one you saw or the last PLE. So you're kind of like stuck. You're like, oh shit, I missed something like from 2 weeks ago. I have to go all the way back to figure out how I got to this point in the story. So for some people that watch How I Met Your Mother, which was 9 seasons of a guy meeting his wife, but every episode was dependent upon the last one. Some people like that. And some people like Seinfeld. I just want to turn my brain off, watch a show that has nothing to do about anything and will have no bearing of consequences. Me, I need story. I need it to be almost hooked on the last thing because it's like it's a rope that I'm pulling, and I need the payoff to be great.
Ego?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, sir?
I am.
Mark
I'm
that down.
talking. That's all I can do.
Mark
It's
that
already
down.
ready. Yes.
Down, sir. So yes, so as I have said numerous times, from my perspective, story is king. Give me something that will make me invest, make me want to tune in. So, like I said, and I'll use NXT as an example. Outside of a few talents out there, I don't care. I mean, the show is very CW. It's very cheesy, very corny dialogue, but Sean is working with what he has, and he has a network that he's got to kind of make that product work with. But you threw in Julia, you threw in Stephanie, that became interesting. You elevated Oba, became interesting. Now you've got the Mariah to fill that void. So this becomes some interesting TV. And on top of that, you get some, when they're in the ring, you get some decent pro wrestling. So that's, me, story has to matter, which is why I'm liking certain stories on Raw and SmackDown. Some stories still need to get their ass in gear and get moving. Matt, thoughts?
So, like you were saying before, one thing that also irks me about WWE storytelling is a lack of, like, a lot of the storytelling they do is like promo based, which is nice. But we need more vignettes. We need more like Booker T and Stone Cold in the supermarket. The Ministry of Darkness raiding people's homes. You know, Randy Orton running through the Triple H house with a sledgehammer, chasing his children around. You know, we need more of that, like wrestlers in real life going after each other, not in real life. You know what I mean? Like more vignette storylines. Like it would be cool if like during that rivalry with the Judgment Day and what was it? I just went brain locked on them.
Early Judgment Day with AJ Finn and Liv.
Yeah. When Rhea was breaking away, right? Remember how Rhea and Dirty Tom were going after Ray in their house and all that?
I know, and you love that. You love that story. You watch it every
But what if Rhea was out, you know, like in a store shop buying some clothes, and all of a sudden up walks Liv, and they're doing their caddy, and out of nowhere Liv has a bunch of goons jump her, and maybe she does something like, "Oh, you'll be my mannequin," puts clothes on her, and like humiliates her in public, and then Rhea has a real reason to want to rip her heart out. You know what I mean? Like get those like, because when the Undertaker kidnapped Stephanie, right, and had her in the boiler room, right, and Mankind saved her, that had a lot of sort of like
yes, we know
to the Undertaker versus Mankind the next couple of matches. You know what I mean? Like,
that to me, that sounds like, let's go back to Attitude Era. To which I say, fuck the Attitude Era.
that's not the Attitude Era. All wrestling promo people did promos like that. Not just, in fact, Vince ripped that off from other people. You know what I mean?
That was Edge. That was Edge that did that. That was Edge that did that.
Yeah, you get more of that sort of like invested kayfabe storytelling.
Okay,
you know that, like, I thought they were really good when the Wyatts came back and they destroyed the producer booth. I thought we were going to see more of that. And instead, that was the only thing we really saw of it, you know?
Yeah, that was their debut, which, again, the Wyatts, they've now appeared on SmackDown in the same segment now, 2 weeks in a row. It's been the exact same segment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but sometimes a match can make something even more exciting. And that's what we have this weekend with Money in the Bank. One of my favorite events, even though Paul Levesque said he's not a fan of the Money in the Bank gig, Money in the Bank prop, the gimmick. And I'm like, well, it kind of sucks, but I understand why. I mean, I think you can count on one hand how many ladder matches Triple H has been in, and you wouldn't need your whole hand. I think he's been in 3, and in one of them he tore both his quads. So obviously he's not a big fan of a ladder match. So we're gonna go through a couple of these here where he goes on his way back. So we will go to this match first because it's his favorite wrestler right here.
Oh my God.
Oh, there. All righty. We're going to go with the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, a replay of Backlash with the champion, Lyra Valkyria, versus Becky Lynch. Ego, I'm going to go with you first. Let's hear your take, sir.
If you don't get that damn belt off Lyra Valkyria this instant, please. I know she's getting the crowd's loving her or whatever, but she has been boring for over 90 days for me. She's been incredibly boring. I said it. Incredibly boring, okay? Bring someone in there that knows how to at least get the crowd riled up, who actually got some better crowd control. And if you want to make sure you make Lyra the super baby face on the road to redemption and getting her title back, fine. I don't care. Just remove the belt from her this instant. Becky Lynch, all day.
Okay, Matt, your thoughts?
I am not a fan of Lyra Valkyria. She reminds me of like a white Jade Cargill. You know, she
doesn't be straight, sir. I didn't even say her name. That was unfit.
Every match I've ever seen Lyra Valkyria in, she does at least 1 or 2 botches. She has difficulty keeping up with her opponents if they're fast, in terms of athleticism. So you give it to Becky.
Steph, you're right, because these 2 guys are completely wrong on this one. Lyra is very good in ring. Very, very good. Does she get a little? Does she get a bit ahead of herself from time to time? Sure, she's young. Okay, they've all done that. However, the Becky Lynch heel experiment is working. The result of getting Lyra more babyface love is working. So this is why you put the belt on her now, and this could involve, because we still have a story thread that needs to be pulled on still, and that is what is the reason we're even in this feud now? What did Becky do to even get in this feud? Took Bayley out before WrestleMania. So we still have a impending now return. So I'm actually looking forward to this match. This match should be very good. The match I don't give 2 shits about is this one right here. This one should be the main event. And it is a tag team match with the world heavyweight champion, the Yeet Man, the human highlighter reel, Jey Uso, teaming with Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, teaming with Logan Paul. Matt, thoughts?
Makes more sense to me to the heels to win this match, just because I feel like, I don't know, because Cena is still going to be out there, Paul's still going to be out there. So if they were to win this builds towards more successful singles matches with Logan versus Jay and Cena versus Cody. Whereas if they win, it's like, well, they're going to win again. You know what I mean? Like the faces, and that's kind of what I'm thinking about it. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of it. Of this, I dislike what I call gimmick tag team matches where people aren't in a tag team. Like, there's no natural tag team that exists between Jey Uso and Cody, other than apparently Cody is now a de facto bloodline member or something. I don't know.
No, Cody and Jay were for a brief time the unified tag team champion.
That's not enough for this, And
I'm
again,
just saying.
Logan Paul and Cena. I mean, this just feels like an AEW throw together match more than anything, and I'm not a fan of it.
All right. So the reason why this match is here, you put Cena, Roman. That's so lovely.
That sounds awesome, though.
And Steph, I agree with you here as well, and I'm gonna tell you why. You pair Cena with the most hated character in WWE.
Yep. Instantly
Generate more heel heat. Because folks are still kind of cheering John Cena. This is not the desired effect that the WWE wants.
Well,
on the other side.
But they're not cheering him because he's a face. They're cheering the fact that he's a heel.
Okay, I get this, but they want the heel heat. So this is why you pair him with Logan Paul. You pair Cody with the most over baby face in the company, and that is Jey Uso. To get more babyface love, Cody had the triumphant return at Saturday night's main event. Big pop, bigger pop now. Cody will win this match, and this leads to the final confrontation: Cena, Cody, Night 2, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's what this leads to. Now, what should be a fun match, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match with LA Knight, Cero Miedo, Penta, Andrade, El Grande Americano, Seth Rollins, and Solo Sikoa. Let's go through names and we'll just see who we think. Does anyone here think Solo Sikoa is winning Money in the Bank? Raise your hand.
Hell no.
Well, I would say it this way: he is more likely than less likely to win it.
Okay, I'll give you that, because I think we can agree the two absolute guaranteed people who are not going to win Money in the Bank is Penta and Andrade.
Yeah.
Ego, I don't think.
Who
are absolutely not going to win.
Oh, Solo is absolutely not going to win, and neither is America. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Penta, Andrade. Matt and I say they're absolutely not going to win. Do you agree?
I want Penta to win.
That's
I just don't think that he. I know.
Not,
I just said I want. I said I want. It's what I would like.
I want him to win, but I know he's not going to win it.
He's not going to win it.
Okay, so because they're there to make this match a whole lot more interesting with a lot of crazy spots. That's what they're here for.
Yeah,
and it's going to be fucking crazy. I'm not going to lie. Now, we go to, I'll get to that. We got El Grande Americano and Solo. These guys are more likely to win than they are absolutely not. That's my take on the two. You can make a case for both of these guys. especially since we know Chad Gable is going to lose to Vikingo at Worlds Collide. Could you imagine if El Grande Americano wins Money in the Bank and goes to cash in on the Viking, goes to cashing in on Vikingo,
hilarious,
to win the AAA Mega Championship, and then Chad is sorry, not Chad Gable. The identity of El Grande Americano can never be revealed because of that. That would be
awesome.
Hilarious.
That would be great.
I agree there. Well, here's the interesting twist Triple H could do with this, right? The Money in the Bank contract isn't necessarily for the 2 world titles, and Solo versus Jacob is out there. That's why
it should be, though. It should be because we have seen the failure of Austin Theory trying to cash in on the U.S. title. And that was
what I'm saying is that the Bloodline storyline is not about Roman and his inevitable return to the WWE title. It's about right now. It's about Jacob and his basically being the title holder with his title.
I get that, and that is a valid point, and that is true that every title is up for grabs.
Yeah.
So that leaves Seth Rollins and LA Knight, the 2 most likely to win.
Yeah.
I say it's LA Knight. This is LA Knight's time to win because Seth Rollins doesn't need Money in the Bank to get a world heavyweight title shot. And plus, we all know that Seth Rollins and his crew prevented CM Punk from advancing to Money in the Bank, a event that he is famous for. CM Punk is not going to take that line down. So how do you neutralize the 2 brutes?
Oh, there'll be a ton of outside interference in this match.
Well, there will be.
I guess there's 6 guys here. There'll be at least 10 guys minimum.
Well, there will. Well, here's what I'm thinking here. Is it possible? Because for a brief moment now, CM Punk has a common enemy with someone else who we haven't seen in a while, who also has a beef with Seth Rollins. Because as Matt famously says,
there's always plan B.
Is it possible we get the return of Roman Reigns?
Could be.
This is why I think that LA Knight is going to win, because LA Knight needs a change of scenery, because right now he's an AEW guy on SmackDown. He's just there to do matches at this point. He is never going to be in the WWE Championship picture over on Friday
He
night.
shouldn't be on either.
He's not going to be in the U.S. title picture for a while, because you got Jacob, you've got Damian Priest, you're going to have Drew McIntyre, you're going to have Solo involved in that. He's on the outside looking in. He needs a change of scenery coming into Raw, which again, it doesn't have, again, you've got 365 days to play with this. So he could, not read the instructions on how the Money in the Bank works for about 9 months, a la Damian Priest, and then make a cash in, early next year or so. So I think LA Knight comes out Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, this one here, you talk about an absolutely stacked show. This could steal the entire show right here. We've got the women's Money in the Bank. La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. Alexa Bliss, The Prodigy, Roxanne Perez. The Beautiful Madness, Julia. Rhea Ripley, and Naomi.
I will open by saying Rhea Ripley shouldn't be in this match.
Should or should not?
Should not.
I tend
don't think so.
to agree.
Well, I mean, she's not going to win this most likely, and you could put someone in there who could facilitate, like put Chelsea Green in there, for example.
Fuck Chelsea Green. She is.
Well, yes, we want to do that too, but
no, you do.
You know, you could put there are at least 4 or 5 women in there who could facilitate elevating the level of the match. We're not saying Rhea's bad, but this match, looking at the people in it, this is going to be almost a lucha match, okay, or a stardom match, whatever you want to consider it, right? And Rhea will not look as good as the other 5 in this style of match.
Okay, so, and I said this in my video today, which, by the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel or any of our channels, our links are down below in the.
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
I said Rhea is absolutely not going to win because she doesn't need a shortcut to get to a title match. She's Rhea Ripley. She absolutely does not need a prop to get at here. So she is out. Now, Ego, your thought on Miss Rhea?
Honestly, I would have liked if I would have taken Rhea out and I would have put Liv up there just so I could have more tension between her and Roxanne Perez. Like, I would have preferred that. Like that way, if you're saying that Roxanne goes on to win, then it's a year of taunting, which would be awesome. But I need Liv to be there to have to take the taunting from Money in the Bank on. So I mean, but I agree Rhea shouldn't be there to me because she doesn't need it, and I guess she's there for appearances. But the lineup's already stacked. So why are you here?
For the pop.
I guess. I got it. I mean, she did well last. I think she was in it last. Was she in her last year? She wasn't. Okay, I'm tripping.
Okay. There are only 2 people in this match with Money in the Bank experience. And I will talk about the next one, and that is Alexa Bliss, who is the only one who has won a Money in the Bank contract. Could she be the first women's 2-time Money in the Bank winner? No, not going to happen. Nope. As much as I would like it, I see her, and in the same way with Julia, their stories are on another path. Alexa is doing this thing with Charlotte, and it may include the Wyatts. But right now, she's got a storyline going that doesn't have any title. That does not have a title involved in this. And Julia is going to be your next Women's United States champion. Just put that belt on her now.
Agreed.
So those 2 are out. Now it becomes a little more interesting because, as I said, could I see Roxanne winning Money in the Bank? If for nothing else, just to taunt Liv Morgan, which I think would be hilarious because I am actually liking the Judgment Day story now because it's this little telenovela Uber drama. It's making me laugh. It makes me smile. Anyone have a thought for Roxanne?
Let's see. So we agree Rhea's not winning this, right?
Correct.
We agree Alexa's not winning this, right?
Julia's not.
Naomi is not winning this. So this is, to me, well, when I look at who gets Money in the Bank, when it works out really well, it's when you take someone who's not in the title mix, but who could be good for it. Maybe they're up and comer, maybe they're popping over with the merch or whatever, and interjects them into that title run, right? So to me, number 1 on that list is Roxanne, and number 2 is Stephanie, right? Of what's coming right now. And I think if you had to pay me money to make a bet right now, I'd say Roxanne's going to win this match.
Okay. So, Ego, who do you think is going to win the women's Money in the Bank?
I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, I would like Roxanne Perez to win it because it would actually, to me, keep the Judgment Day together and give Finn Balor an elevated position within the group and give them a better melodrama that you could play off the entire year. I guess in the sake of immediacy, it would almost be Naomi, though. Like, whereas the men, you can win it and go, hey, go sit the fuck down for a year and then know that you got it and then cash in later when it'd be your time. Like, women's like, hey, who can we give this to? And that might be able to cash in the next 3 or 4 months to me. And that'd probably be Naomi. Otherwise, she's just got not even a feud with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. It's kind of boring at this point. So give her the Money in the Bank. Give her something to actually use later.
Wait, did you just say Jade Cargill is boring?
I said
How dare you, Eagle? How dare you?
I
Just
meant
stop right
the
there.
beef is
Just stop right there. Stop right there. Just stop right there. Did it? Because the winner of Money in the Bank, Naomi. It's going to be her. This is her 5th. She's the most experienced, and she is the one that is set for a title push and merchandising. The caution tape themed briefcase after the experiment last year with the Tiffy Barbie-ized briefcase sold a shit ton of stuff. Thank you again. Thank you. Now that is Money in the Bank. So we've got our predictions, and it is now time for the staple of this show. It is the Wednesday Night is Overbooked top 5, and yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
It is the Wednesday Night is Overbooked top 5. The way this works, we have a category and we have 5. We do our 5 picks. Our number 5 pick gets 1 point. Our number 5 pick, our number 5 pick gets 1 point. Our number 1 pick gets 5 points. I talk, I stutter. It happens, and I count the way I talk. It's fine. So anyway, last week we did the best matches of 2025 so far. As we are working toward the halfway point of the year, this week we're going with the worst matches so far. And I would like to thank everyone who has been in the chat so far. If you have not liked, give it a like to the show yet, make sure that you do. We have a goal of minimum a double digit likes, looking for a dozen. So if you have not already,
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
And this week's topic is the 5 worst matches of 2025 so far. Matches that just make you yawn, want to go to the bathroom, and are just like, oh, dear God, why is this thing even happening? This was a lot harder than I thought because there's been a lot of meh. But thankfully, WrestleMania 41 happened, so that took up a lot of my space. So, Mr. Ego, you're number 5, sir.
I got Cody Rhodes v. John Cena, WrestleMania 41. It was just
number 5.
Number 5, yeah, number 5 for me. I say because it's worse for me is boring, and I get it. Cody Rhodes is more of a traditional wrestler. John Cena has been dodging allegations that he can't wrestle for the whole time. So I mean, there weren't a lot of great spots for me, and the fact that this relied upon
Because you're a
Travis.
Flash wrestler.
He's what?
Because you like Flash.
I do. I know there was substance, but I need Flash to go with the substance. I didn't get it. And then when I expected some interference, I didn't have Travis Scott on that list of people to interfere, and I have that big. Oh yeah, completely atrocious. I didn't have that on the bingo card at all, and the fact that he's gonna forever be linked with part of the outcome of this match is atrocious.
You're not wrong.
For everyone involved. So that's why I say it's one of the worst for me. That's why I got number 5.
Okay. Matt, you're number 5, sir.
My number 5 is a tie. It's every Mercedes Moné match this year except for the last one she was in.
Mercedes Moné. Now,
Our last match she was in was a really good match.
Now,
All
is
the
that
other ones?
Now, is that just because we already know the outcome because of how?
No.
Okay.
So
on.
my list is based around wrestling matches are like, so we have you tell a story in the ring in a wrestling match, right?
Right.
And so when you have a match at a pay-per-view, usually it's the conclusion of a storyline or a significant milestone in the storyline, right?
Okay.
So all of our matches have not significantly concluded or enhanced any storyline.
No.
I mean, only storyline is she's eventually going to fight Tony Storm for the title. That's it.
Right.
And throwing the fact that she's having subpar matches almost every time because she can only do one style of wrestling, and that's why it is.
Okay. she has 3
Let's read it.
right now. Soon to be 4.
I hope he doesn't do that.
He's going to.
No.
He's going. He pays her way too much not to put the belt on.
When is Timeless Tony Storm's contract up?
So, mine at number 5, we go to WrestleMania 41, Night 1. If you blinked, you probably forgot this match even happened because it was boring as fuck, or you went to go make a sandwich or something. And that is the War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team Championships. Need I say more?
Yeah.
No.
Fair.
I don't. It was bad. Ego, you're number 4, sir.
Zelina Vega v. Chelsea Green.
Wow.
I think it was Saturday night's main event. People were trying to get me hyped for Zelina Vega, and I'm actually a Chelsea Green fan. Like the whole look, that works for me. The captain's hat, the bridal trail works for me. That's flash and some substance too. The fact that Zelina Vega can't be more than 5'2" or 5'3" to me.
4'11".
That's even worse. How do you botch a 619 at 4'11" and break somebody's nose in a botch? I've seen Rey Mysterio and other people try to do a 619. If they don't have it, they can get themselves back in the ring off of that spin. And that's literally just tucking your knees to your chest and the momentum and bringing you back to the ring. That's it. If you don't have it, don't try to stick your legs out and then break somebody's nose. I know it's a clean break, and Chelsea Green's probably not going to miss any in-ring time, but still, now you seem unsafe because you fuck up your own move, which isn't even your own move. It's like a remix of the person that actually does it. You got it from them, and you fucked it up. And then you hurt somebody in your fuck up. I can't have that. Number 4.
Matt, you're number 4.
The exact same match. Chelsea. I like Chelsea Green. I liked her for a long time, not just sexually, but I've been a fan of her since Lucha Underground when she was for Kusa.
Yes, we know.
But combine the fact that Zelina Vega is a horrible wrestler. She's Jay Carvalho's left foot is a better wrestler than Chelsea Green than Zelina Vega.
Wow.
I didn't say it. He did.
Wow. So my number 4 is the exact same match. We are all in agreement on.
Enough said. Said.
I mean, dear God in heaven, how do you botch that? I mean, even this match was thrown together, but you get 2 pros. 2 pros can throw a match together and make it look good. This match was awful. And the minute this match happened, I'm like, put the belt on Julia now. Put the belt on Julia now.
You know when they say you can't unsee it once you've seen it? I'm going to tell you something about Zelina Vega. Watch her matches. Every time she does a top rope to the floor dive, they have to move to catch her because she can never aim properly. You'll now I told you about. You'll see it every time she does it. Like
well, that's interesting because her husband is really good.
Yeah, but she's not.
No, Ego, you're number 3.
Number 3. Man, I hate to say this, guys. It was Jordan Grace versus Julia.
Ooh, NXT match.
Yes. It's one thing to be boring, but if you're safe and you're boring, okay. Maybe there's not enough preparation. Maybe you have an off night. I get it. But unsafe is something that I cannot tolerate. And the fact that Jordan Grace dropped Julia on her head not once but twice. After the first one, you see the ref immediately drop down to check and see if she's okay. I'm like, yo, whatever you did, don't do that again. And then she winds up doing it again and making it look worse. I mean, I get it. I know it. I'm not sure if it's harder for shorter wrestlers to do those kind of like drivers like that. But you botch that shit one time and you're under 5'8", need a new move. Because obviously you can't control the person you're dropping because you dropped them on their head twice. And for me, that's incredibly unsafe, and you need a new move set if that's going to be what's going to happen to another professional at this level. So I got a number 3.
Wow. Ego, you were on fire now today.
Thank you.
Ready?
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. If you watch the short, you'll see the 2 drops on if you look it up on YouTube Shorts. It's rough.
All right, Matt, you're in number 3.
Well, I complained about this match back when it happened. I think it's from the Elimination Chamber. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a hardcore match for the 18,000th time. I love them both as wrestlers, but I think I said it back when we were talking about it. How many times do we see this match every year? You know,
that's
like and
interesting. That's interesting because we also have that on our match of the year candidates.
Well, again, the match was executed excellently, right? But the storyline was like
I get you. It's just the same story.
And plus, remember, I've been watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens since 2002.
Yeah, ROH days.
You kind of get like, oh, here it comes again. You know, like I mean, I love both of them, but like, it just felt if you're gonna have them do this, there's got to be a real storyline, not just oh my God, Kevin Owens has done the pin drop heel turn again. You know,
All right, my number 3. We're going to WrestleMania 41 Night 2. The match that probably should have been on night 1, but for some reason was the directly before the main event, and that is for the Women's Tag Team Championship, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Again, surprise endings. I'm fine with surprise endings. I'm fine with that. But that match was only put on there because Liv was not on Mania the year before, and it was put that high on the card just to give the big pop entrance. That's a big surprise entrance for Becky Lynch. And what they did with the story of that match there, I know why they did it, but you could have done the exact same thing and not drop the titles, to just drop them again 24 hours later. We could have gotten to the exact same place without that match happening. So that is why it is my number 3.
Mm-hmm. It was like a waste. Like, why?
All right, Ego, you're number 2.
Man, this is what happens when I get what I wish for. Because number 2 is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. And I mean, I said this last year when he first won the belt. I said I cannot wait until it's Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. Like I thought the execution was going to be on point. The aerials were going to be fantastic. We weren't going to get a lot of them, but at least they'd get to showcase what they had. I didn't count on someone being completely unfucking professional, sandbagging half the moves, and making this look like they're two exhausted wrestlers. They look like two 50-year-olds wrestling their last match. Like, it was completely awful. And to know that one's been a champion several times over, the one is newly crowned champion and can put on an absolute show. And you would think putting them together would be the perfect cocktail. And all we got was some bullshit. So I got that at number 2 as my worst.
Ego's base takes tonight. I love it.
Thank you.
Matt, you're number 2.
So, in a lot of ways, the Royal Rumble is my favorite wrestling event, right? For a long time. Especially when you get a couple surprises in there, a legend return, a couple of nice spots like Kofi does, all this sort of stuff that can work out, right? And if you had asked me this question 3 months ago, I probably wouldn't put this as number 2. But every month that has passed, I've been disliking the men's Royal Rumble match more and more. Not because of Jey Uso. It was even more boring than the one the year before. Like, the women's match was way more entertaining this year.
There's been a lot of those.
They had several botches in there, like that. Was it LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Priest had a big botch in there. And it wasn't, and they didn't. Like, a lot of times professionally, they'll try to recover from the botch with a great moveset by those guys or whatever. They didn't even. So, if you look around the edges, there was a lot of just guys like you always look at little things guys do when they know that the camera's not really on them. They just mail it in by grabbing each other for 10 minutes or whatever. There's a lot of mailing in. It just the Royal Rumble. I mean, maybe because when it first started, it was a spectacular thing to us back then. And since then, I've always loved the Royal Rumble. And this just more and more. This one just number 2. There you go.
All right, my number 2, Ego. We're on the exact same page, sir. Hey, Beak, how are you, sir? Welcome. Make sure to hit that. Make sure to hit that like button. And Ego, we're on the same page. Absolute garbage match. Man. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. For the simple fact that Charlotte sabotaged this match. Absolutely sabotaged the entire feud. For whatever reason, I don't know.
She Flair-bagged it.
And this really all happened with the Rumble when she entered and she wins. And from that moment on, she's been like hated because no one wanted her to win the Rumble. Nobody wanted her in the title picture, at least not to win the Rumble. There's something about the Rumble that is special. It is one of those things that goes on your Hall of Fame resume. And now she's the only woman to have.
My audio just died. I'll be right back.
Okay,
cool.
So she's the only woman to have done it twice, and she completely.
Yeah, no, they did not.
And the way they packaged her comeback, she's on a yacht, rich, and then she tries to cut this babyface promo like I missed you all. Did not work because Tiffany is over.
Yeah.
And this was just not working, and Charlotte did not know how to handle the heat that she was getting. So she got pissed off. She turned into Charlotte and completely tried to sandbag this entire match, this entire feud, this entire everything. Now, WWE did make the right decision because, again, as I have said numerous times, if they want to make new stars, Tiffany Stratton had to go over in that match. So it is my number 2. That's right. It's Tiffy time. So, Mr. Ego, what is your number 1, sir?
Can I request to go last on this one? I'm still working this one out.
Okay.
I request to go last. I'm working the last parts of it out.
Matt,
my bad.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Any match with the Death Riders?
Not quite.
Close.
Well, I'll give you, that's part of the explanation because you remember I think I missed. Did I miss? No, did I leave last week so early? Right?
Yeah, you left early.
So that was the one where I went over AEW Double Nothing. Okay. So I had a health concern, so I couldn't watch all Double Nothing before the show. So and the Death Riders actually were in one of the best matches of the year with the Anarchy Arena match. It was really enjoyable, right? So I watched the other two matches after that, like maybe Saturday or whatever, and the Thomas Tony Storm was really good. Okay match, good match. Then I get to the match that should have been great. It was Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay, and those are two of the top. What?
Really? Wow. Not.
Well, again, it's for a reason that doesn't get criticized enough. Okay. It wasn't the wrestlers who were the problem, right? What happened, I think, is after Anarchy in the Arena, they basically had to rebuild the ring because of all the damage. And it's not going to show up in a Thomas Tony Storm match because he doesn't do a lot of top rope acrobatics or whatever, But in Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page, where they're doing top and middle rope jumps and all that, all three levels of rope were too loose. They were constantly stumbling off of them. The ring mat that covers the thin pad was loose. You could see the posts of the rings, which are supposed to be rock solid, like air compressed. One of them was shaking a little. The turnbuckles were either too wet or something. The support work for the match by the ring crew really kept taking me out of the match. And you'd see like Hangman Will Ospreay jumped up to the top rope to do one of his top rope moves, and you could see the turnbuckle wasn't, the AEW wide turnbuckles they used. It was like lopsided, so his foot slipped a little because it wasn't put on properly. And then Hangman was trying to do his shotgun maneuver, and you could see him yanking several times because the rope was wobbling. It wasn't stiff enough to properly pull himself over. Now they did recover very well. The wrestlers themselves were recovering from this stuff and doing A-level work. But this is the worst match in the year so far because the ring just ruined it for me,
Okay. My number one was Ego's number 5, the main event of WrestleMania 41, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I mean, we have the great heel turn. We had that moment. And then we got Travis Scott showing up. No sign of Dwayne. Everything that came on past that.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
As Dwayne sabotaged WrestleMania 41 for his own reasons. But the match itself was not good. John Cena is washed. Is absolutely washed. And the more we see him in the ring, the more limited that he is. And it was just not a good match at
all.
You know what? Ego, you need to make a note of this.
That's one for Steph. I got you.
There we go.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
So, yeah, absolutely the worst match that I've seen all year long. All right, Ego.
Okay. All right.
You apparently have lost enough Mercedes winning matches if you could say it's the worst match.
Why would I?
Okay.
Why would I?
Guys, I have to confess
saw enough
something.
of them. I saw enough of them as Sasha Banks.
All right, guys, I have to make a confession. The worst match that I have seen this year was Jade Cargill via Nia Jax. I don't even want that one, but I'll tell you why, okay? I think the issue that I have with her isn't the fact that she's an action figure that doesn't stand. It's the fact that she's a selfish wrestler. And well, you're not wrong. What I mean by that is If I take a look at if I take a look at the match in its entirety, right? Did you cut a promo at all that was necessary? No, because Mariah May can do that, and she isn't even in the WWE yet. Can you generate heat? No, Logan Paul and to some extent Nia Jax can do that better than you. Can you oversell to exaggerate and make a point? No, but Shawn Michaels did that against Hogan. Can you hype up somebody else? Can you hype up the crowd? No, but Sami Zayn can do that. Can you even sell the wrestler's fucking move on you? No, but love him or hate him, The Rock can do that. So if you can't do any of these motherfucking things at all, and all you do is go limp when someone slams you, there's no gravitas, there's no sense of danger, there's no devastation. Hell, even Billy Kidman in the 90s would hold his head and hit his legs on the ground to show you that DDT hurt like a motherfucker. You can't do either of those things. So when it comes to the point where it's time to do your move, oh, suddenly you can pose. Suddenly you've got motherfucking energy. Suddenly you can take being thrown into the bed, the post and the pillar. You can knock down your opponent and know I can do a move off of the top rope and then go immediately to a cover. That's completely selfish. It doesn't give any respect to your opponent. It completely goes against the crowd's actual willingness to be in and locked into the moment with you, and shows that you're only in it for yourself in the moves that you present and for your time only. So with that,
Spicy.
yes, I thought about this and I was like, damn, now that I look at it, it was awful, because as bad as we say Nia Jax is, at least when Nia Jax has more stage presence to know that the crowd does not like you, lean into it. Oh my God, I got body slammed by Jade Cargill. I need to make it look like it hurt because it took a lot of power to put me on my back. I will even give Nia Jax that. But for Jade to be in it this long and to not know how to sell a move by an obviously bigger wrestler is annoying. I mean, we've always had little guy versus big guy matches. So when the little guy does his move on the big guy, at least the big guy can sell. Or the little guy, when he gets slammed, is like, oh my God, that suplex from off the top ropes. I'm not used to that at 5'10". And this guy was 6'9", 240. My God, it hurt. The carnage. If you can't do any of those or recognize those dimensions, I don't know if I want you on this side of Raw or even SmackDown any longer. You might have to go back to the NXT.
I don't know about you, but I don't know whether I want to hug Ego, or if I don't know if I want to hug Ego or if I want to fuck him right now. God damn.
I've been drinking to get me to this point, man. I'm like, I ain't want to talk about it, but
This has been brought to you by Central Tomatoes and extra virgin olive oil.
Wow.
I fucking hate you guys because I wouldn't have gotten here without you. All right. I can't stand you. I would have been in ignorant bliss without you guys. And now look where I am. Only 1 year. And I'm glad Brad's not here to see this, because Brad would be completely flabbergasted.
He's watching. He would. He'll be. This is.
I guess she'll make her money get cut off at the end of the year or by next WrestleMania and go back to
now.
model.
This was coming to, okay?
Oh, you poor baby.
So we have a clear number one, a tie for 2, and a tie for 3. At 3 points at number 3 with 5 points each, it is Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay with Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. This is one of the greatest shows ever. One of the greatest shows ever. I love it. At number 2 with 6 points.
Dose.
It is Cody Rhodes and John Cena, tied with Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green from Saturday Night's main event. Yeah. And our number 1 worst match of 2025 so far is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Well deserved. Well deserved. Now tune in next week for our top 5 next week is best moment. Whether it's a significant moment, like a significant heel turn, a big pop moment, or something that you just did not see coming. And it was like, holy crap. So kind of like the biggest holy crap, WTF, LOL, any
holy shit. It's one of those moments. You know?
Yeah. Top 5 holy shit moments. I like it.
Right. So top 5 holy shit moments so far. But until then, Mr. Base Take tonight, Mr. LeftEyeEgo, what do you have coming up, sir?
Nothing much coming up. Just again, check out the latest video that I've got up regarding my movie review of Sinners. Hopefully, I'll be able to get Roman in the next week or two so we can actually do an unboxing of action figures. And not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, Shiro and I will be live at 6 p.m. Central on Sunday for our Ordinary Games podcast.
Next week, we are at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm glad you came by. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Also, programming note, this Saturday, 30 minutes after Money in the Bank goes off the air, Mr. Ego and I will be here again doing a live recap reaction. It'll be like maybe an hour tops, but it'll be fun. So come on and join us 30 minutes after Money in the Bank is over. So with that, Mr. Matt Van Dam, the whole other show, what do you have coming up, sir?
Just one little note there, Steph. The term overbooked is a wrestling term, which maybe a lot of people in the modern era don't use it too much anymore, but it's a actual wrestling term. Tomorrow night, are you guys on JV and Eagle? Are you on Roman show with us?
I am, yes.
Okay. We'll be reviewing a movie called Spectral, which is a underrated science fiction film from about 8 years ago now. And next week, obviously, we have one night overbooked with the results of Money in the Bank. And I have a video from the questionnaires that we filmed, our standard, reviews of certain topics related to video games or movies or whatever. We went over a bunch of articles.
Okay. Overbooked means it's just a big spectacle match, like the main event of WrestleMania 40. Cody, Roman, you had Solo interfere, you had Jay interfere, Jimmy interfere, The Rock, Undertaker, John Cena. It's when it just becomes just a big mess.
Yeah, so it's a term we borrow from airlines. Like in an airline, you overbook. They always put more passengers on the plane, book more passengers on the plane than can actually fit, and they just because not everyone always shows up, right? So wrestling borrowed it. So like they put more into the match, so to speak. Like in other words, it's not just a standard match. They put all extra spots in it, like Joker was saying. A lot more spectacle. Maybe there's celebrity in there. Maybe there's run-ins or whatever. There's more. So there's so much stuff. If you ever watch a script for an overbooked match, they never get it all in.
No, never. As for myself, Friday I will be dropping a video on my channel talking about Mariah May and Stephanie Vaquer. Could these be the two biggest fumbles that Tony Khan has ever done? The answer, no. And we'll find out why. But also, I will also be with Matt on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. And of course, we will be back here for Wednesday Night is Overbooked. On behalf of all of us here, I want to say hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Keep talking, keep smiling. And until next time,
Toodles!
Take care.
And here we go. like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Ah!